Letitia Fowler with the Office of Public Defender.
Lakeisha Halen with the Office of Public Defender.
Are you guys switching? Okay, and what was I know your last name, but how do you spell it?
F-O-W-L-E-R.
Oh, Fowler, okay. I knew that, because I met you before. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No, you're fine.
Joseph Penley is refusal.
All right. So, Mr.
Oh, Penland, excuse me.
Penland in 2019 CF 11970AO is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent him. And Ms. Haling, did you want to waive his appearance for purposes of the record? Just
Yes, Your Honor.
refused to come. And so Mr. Penland is not to possess any weapons or firearms or any ammunition. He's not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness. And he's not to return back to Seal Auto Appearance at 5615 Old Winter Garden Road. And I am going to stay the bond at the $2,500.
Michael Allen also refused.
All right, we'll address Mr. Outing later.
Jeremiah Kelly refused.
Jeez. Nobody wants to see me today. All right, Mr. Kelly refused to come to court, 2019 CF 11993AO. And I'm gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent him. And Ms. Fowler, did you wanna waive his appearance for purposes of the record?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so he's not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I do find probable cause for possession of alprazolam, possession of MDMA, and possession of drug paraphernalia, and the bonds will stay at 1,000, 150, and 100. I'm gonna have to make sure I look up every time. All right, please tell me your name. All right, is Richard Parmenter? Oh, okay. All right, Mr., can you tell me your name, sir, for the record?
Richard Parmenter.
Okay, Mr. Parmenter, you're here in 2019 CF 2162AO. You're arrested pursuant to a KPS for failing to appear for trial on July 29, 2019. The judge forfeited your bond, revoked your release, and set your bond at none on each count. Does he have the PD? You do have the public defender. They can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond for you. All right, Mr. Perez, you're here in 2019 CF 11459, and you're arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for possession of heroin and possession of drug paraphernalia. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. And the judge who signed the warrant did set your bond at 5,000 on count 1, 100 on count 2. And so you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. All right, please tell me your name.
Jeffrey Ball.
All right, Mr. Ball, you're here in 2019 CF 11991AO. You're arrested for grand theft third degree. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You can't go back to Target at 3770 North Goldenrod Road. You must abide by all trespass warnings, and you're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness. I will stay the bond at the $500. you have any questions, you can call the number that,
Yes, Manoj. I was wondering, can I bond out because I have a warrant in Colorado? I don't know if that was.
I have nothing about, I know nothing about your warrant in Colorado, other than you have a possible open warrant in Colorado. I don't know if they've spoken with them, or if it's an extraditable warrant.
They'll deal with the locals first, but yes, they have several more.
Okay, I mean, you can post the bond, it's holding him? Okay, it doesn't say on here that there's a hold, so I,
The
okay,
warrants, but
okay, all right.
Okay, so there's no.
I can't
holdup.
give any legal advice, so, but it is, has been served on you, so if they're gonna extradite you, then,
Okay.
all right, sir, please tell me your name.
David Michael Cassidy.
Is Mr. Camps coming?
he thinks you're on.
Okay, Mr. Camps, in 2019 CF 11983AO, was arrested for burglary of a conveyance, grand theft third degree, and a violation of a pawnbroker act. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender. Ms. Fowler, did you wanna waive his appearance for purposes of the record?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I am gonna stay the bonds at 3,500, 150, 150. He's not to return back to Nick's Restaurant at 5439 North Orange Blossom Trail, or the Casa America Pawn at 6325 North Orange Blossom Trail, or have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. All right, and you said, Mr. Cassidy? Okay. Mr. Cassidy, you're here in 2017 CF 16194AO. You're arrested pursuant to a habeas. I believe the state's filed an information charging you with possession of heroin and possession of a controlled substance. And the judge who found probable cause set the bonds at 2,500 on count 1, 1,000 on count 2. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and I am gonna appoint the PD to represent you. All right, please tell me your name.
Marcus Lee Cassidy II.
All right, Mr. Casita, you're here in 2019 CF 3630AO. You're arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for a determination of counsel hearing on August 15, 2019. The judge in that case did set your bond at none. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender? Huh? Or appointment? Sorry, I can't. Okay, so you did have the public defender appointed? Okay. So the judge who signed the capias is gonna be the one that's gonna have to change that, so your attorneys can file any appropriate motions with regards to getting you a bond in that case. As to your out on bond case, I'll take no action on that today. All right, please tell me your name.
Hector Cordova.
All right, Mr. Cordova, you're here in 2019 CF 11972. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found for possession of a controlled substance. I am, gonna appoint the public defender's office. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will stay set at 1,000. All right, please tell me your name.
Marcus Demetrius Demps.
All right, Mr. Demps, you're here in 2019 CF 11912. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're charged with aggravated battery with great bodily harm with a weapon, and you're not to return back to the location of the offense at downtown Chicken and Things at 646 West Washington Street. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or any ammunition. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case, and your bond will stay set as in the warrant at $15,000. All right, please tell me your name.
Leonardo Rafael Gonzalez Mesa.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez Mesa, you're here in 2019 CF 11999AO. You're arrested for possession of fentanyl and possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office. You are not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to return back to the Circle K at 1801 North Goldenrod Road. If you've been trespassed from there, you're to abide by those trespass warnings. Your bond will stay set at $1,000 and $150. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Stephen Griffin.
All right, Mr. Griffin, you're here in 2019 CF 2630AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias. However, the capias says no bond, but I believe that Judge Young set your bond at the $14,000, and you were remanded on the capias. So you do have a bond of $14,000, and you do have the Office of the Public Defender representing you, so they can still file any appropriate motions with regards to bond for you with Judge Young. And I'll take no action on the out on bond case. Make sure you don't miss your court date on the 28th of August,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? Please tell me your name, please. Oh, sir?
Nathaniel Henderson.
I'm sorry? Was it, are you Mr. Henderson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I couldn't hear. All right, Mr. Henderson, you're here in 2019 CF 11951AO. You're arrested for burglary of a structure with damage of $1,000 and possession of burglary tools. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. And in that case, you're not to return back to Inspired Closets at 433 Silver Star Road or have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. And your bond is on count one is $5,000, and count two, there's a bond correction sheet, and it should be $150. In 2016 CF 139, you were arrested pursuant to a warrant for a violation of community control, and the judge in that case did set your bond at none. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you in that case. I believe you'll be seen by Judge Whitehead in a week to 10 days, could be a little bit sooner. And in 2017 CF 3194, you were also arrested pursuant to a warrant for a violation of community control. And I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your bond is set at none. In that case, again, you should be seen by Judge Whitehead in a week to 10 days, could be sooner. And you do have the Public Defender in all of your cases. All right, please tell me your name.
Aaron James Hill.
All right, Mr. Hill. You're here in 2019 CF 11968AO. You're arrested for burglary of a conveyance, attempted burglary of a conveyance, and petty theft. And I'm showing that you're not gonna qualify for the public defender, so let me just make sure that this is correct. Do you work, sir?
I did before I got arrested. I don't know if I have a job still.
Okay, you don't know, or, okay,
I don't
so-
believe I do, because I've been in here almost a month now, or going close to a month.
Okay. Is this an add-on? Oh, okay, all right. So, I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you, okay?
Thank you.
And so in this case, I do find probable cause, and you're not to return back to 5412 Halifax Drive, or 3414 Chatsworth Lane, or 3085 Bridgehampton Lane, or have any contact with any listed victim or witness in any of those cases. And I am gonna stay the bond at 3,500 on count 1, 150, and 100.
Amber Jones refused, Your Honor.
All right. 2019 CF 1196, is it, yeah. Is it O or 0? Okay, it looks like an O. Okay, it's 0. She was arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for retail theft over 300. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent her. She did fill out a form. So, Ms. Fowler, did you want to waive her appearance for purposes of the record?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So she's not to return back to the Florida Mall or Macy's, but specifically the Florida Mall at 8001 South Orange Blossom Trail in Orlando, Florida. She's not to have any contact with any listed victim, witness, or any co-defendant in the case, and the bond will stay set at 2,500. All right, please tell me your name, ma'am.
Maiza Jones.
All right, Ms. Jones, you're here in 2019 CF 11994AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, entering or remaining in a place for prostitution and prostitution. I do find probable cause, and you did not fill out a form for the public defender. Were you planning on hiring your own attorney, or did you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender?
I think
You
I
did fill out a form? I see a.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't have one for you. Is it legible? Oh. All right, well, we do have a form, and so you do qualify for the Public Defender's Office. I am gonna appoint them to represent you. I'm gonna place you in the pretrial release program. You're subject to random urinalysis. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. All right, please tell me your name, sir. Mr. Kirkland, you're here in 2019 CF 11996AO. You were arrested for retail theft over 300. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender. You cannot go back to Target at 120 West Grant Street or have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. Your bond will stay set at 1,000. You're out on bond in 2019 CF 8208. Is that 3 zeros after that, or
3 zeros.
000? Okay, 820800. It's like 8 numbers. Okay. And I am gonna revoke the bond and set that bond at none, and you are represented by the PD. They can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond for you. That's been happening a lot. It's been happening a lot. There's only 6 numbers. tell me your name.
Abbott Morone?
Mr. Marone? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. And you're here in 2019 CF 119992AO. You're arrested for possession of methamphetamine and trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the PD. You cannot go back to the Wawa at 8574 South Orange Blossom Trail in Orlando. You must abide by all trespass warnings. You cannot possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. The bond will stay set at 1,000 and 100. Please tell me your name.
Travis McCaskill.
Mr. McCaskill, I just saw you, and I know I told you you can't drive without a license. And you're here in 2019 CF 11995AO, and you're arrested for driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And I did place you in the pretrial release program, and I know that I specifically told you, you gotta follow all of those requirements. You can't get rearrested, and you can't drive without a license. The bond will stay set in this case at 2,500, and you cannot drive without a valid license. And I am revoking the bond in 2019 CF 11886AO, or excuse me, the pretrial release. And your attorneys can file any appropriate motions with regards to getting you a bond in that division. Do I need to?
No, we didn't get the people in here.
Okay. Please tell me your name.
Permission McCrimmon.
Ms. McCrimmon, you're here in 2019 CF 2668AO. Looks like there's 2 things going on. First, there was an affidavit for a violation of pretrial release. That was back in March. And so the judge gave you bonds in that case. And then in the same case, you failed to appear. And that was after the pretrial release affidavit. So that was for case management on May 23rd, 2019, and the judge set your bonds at none. That overrides the bonds set in the warrant. So your bonds will be set at none on each of those cases. Does she have in each of those counts, does she have the PD? You do have the public defender, and they can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond for you.
Is this one the case we need to RRs, the other one, or just? I want to close that other one. Okay, thank you.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Blaze Daniel McNanny.
All right, Mr. McNanny, you're here in 2019 CF 11961AO. You're arrested for aggravated battery with a motor vehicle and criminal mischief over 1,000. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You are not to possess any weapons, any firearms, any ammunition. You must not have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case, and you may not return back to 1164 Lambing Lane. Looks like trailer B. And I am setting your bond at 7,500 on count 1, 150 on count 2. You're out on release in 2019 CF 7492AO. Do you have a PD in that case? I'm gonna appoint the public defender in that case to represent you, and they can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond, but I am revoking your release at this time in that case. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Angel Ordaz.
All right, Mr. Ordaz, you're here in 19 CF 11986AO. You're arrested for trafficking in heroin over 4 grams under 14. possession of heroin with intent to sell or deliver, possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver, possession of cocaine, and possession of heroin. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. There is a bond correction sheet. I don't know if everybody saw, but it's a $100,000 bond on count 1 and $150 on each additional count. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to have any contact with your co-defendant, Omar Sampson. Yes, I did say the bond. But it's the 100,000. Yeah. There was it's the bond correction. You never miss anything.
Oh, right, I don't know, I found out.
All right, please tell me your name.
Valerie Serrano.
All right, you're here in 2019 CF 12006. You're arrested for possession of methamphetamine with intent to sell or deliver, possession of methamphetamine, and purchase of MDMA. I do find probable cause. And I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're also not to return back to 2100 Commerce Boulevard. And I'm gonna stay the bond at 15,000 on count 1, 150 and 150.
Was the bond on count 1?
15,000.
Thank you.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Jonathan Self.
Mr. Settle, you're here in 2019 CF 11990AO. You're arrested for possession of MDMA and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender, and you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm gonna put you in the pretrial release program. Did they charge this as possession of MDMA with intent to sell or deliver? Okay, it's not listed as that on the warrant, or on the affidavit. So I'm not gonna place you in the pretrial release program for this one. So I do find probable cause for the possession of, MDMA with intent to sell or deliver. Again, you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will stay set at 15,000 and 150. Please tell me your name.
Craig Sherd.
All right, Mr. Sherd, you're here in 2019 CF 9277. You're arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for burglary of a structure and grand theft third degree. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to return back. Sorry?
I couldn't hear what you said.
Okay, you were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for burglary of a structure and grand theft third degree.
I was never arrested for that. I turned
myself in because they said I had a warrant. I told
Okay,
them-
well, you had to be arrested on the warrant, whether you turned yourself in or
Oh,
not,
okay.
they arrest you on the warrant, okay? So you were served with a warrant, you turned yourself in on a warrant,
I'm just trying to
whatever
find
it
out.
might be, okay?
I didn't, oh,
So, you can't go back to 12371 Winter Garden, Vineland Road, the Miller's Ale House. You can't have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. And 2019 MM 529 AW, you were arrested pursuant to a capias, or whether you turned yourself in or not, I'm not sure, for failing to appear for an arraignment. And your bond is set at 2,000 in that case. Does he have the PD in that case?
You're not gonna offer on the failure to appear.
Okay.
It's a withhold, credit for time served, impulse control class within 90 days, cost of investigation of $109.14 to the Ocoee Police Department, and no return.
He has a VOP, out of state for burglary.
Okay.
This,
So-
Georgia.
So, Mr. Shear, the offer from the state on the petty theft, the misdemeanor case that you have the bond in, a $2,000 bond, is a withhold, credit for time served. Do we know how many days he has? So it would be however many days that you have. You would have to take the impulse control class within, do you say 90 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then show proof to
Proof
the,
clerk's office.
to the clerk's office? If he doesn't do that, then
He'll
what?
suspend his license. He'll suspend
Okay,
his
so that would be this, your license would be suspended until you provided proof of completing the impulse control class within that time frame. You cannot return back, I don't have any
yeah, let me-
facts to the case. Are you interested in even accepting
Yeah,
the offer?
yeah.
Okay, so let me look up the case real quick.
Video synopsis in 1 second.
And he has 7 days. And then just so you're aware, I'm being told that you're on probation, and that there is already you're saying there's already a violation of,
Till I handle this right here, I already know.
Hold for Georgia.
I'm sorry, he is
There's
on,
a hold for Georgia.
there's a
Probation.
hold for
Yes.
Georgia. Okay,
For the
so,
VOP.
so they could continue to violate you.
Turner to Bell's store, the loss prevention officer saw the defendant select a pair of new sneakers and remove the tags. The defendant placed the sneakers on his feet. The defendant met with a friend in the store, returning to the shoe department with the pair of slides he had selected and concealed them. Defendant left the store without paying, bypassing all points of sales. He was seen by the officer outside. He ran back inside the store. The items were recovered. The value was $56.97. And the no return address to the Bells looks like it's 8901 Colonial Drive, Ocoee, Georgia.
And so, Mr. Sheard, if you have to understand also that if you decided to plead to this, it's a petty theft, it's an enhanceable offense. So, if you have 2 prior convictions of adjudication, you can then get charged with a felony. So I need to make sure that you understand that if you want to resolve this case today.
Yes, ma'am, yes, Your Honor, I'd like to resolve it today.
Okay.
Thank you.
And you understand you're only resolving the misdemeanor, I cannot resolve the felony for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you do have bonds in those cases.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And do you want to plead no contest, Mr. Sheard?
All right.
Your Honor, what was the amount of the fees?
The fees? Like
The fees?
There's a
Cost
cost.
investigation
Yeah.
of $109.14 to the Ocoee Police Department.
I get the information off of that?
I mean, I don't want to set him up for failure on the impulse control, because obviously he's getting, if he bonds out on the other case, he's getting transported to Georgia.
Well, the hit was confirmed, I'm looking at it right here.
And then I don't know when he would be out of custody.
I have no objection to changing it to within 90 days of release from custody.
I mean, I don't know how we,
He would show his release date when he, obviously he's not gonna do it within 90 days. He would show his proof of release date and then him pleading it to the clerk. They would reinstate his license.
okay, do you understand, Mr. Sheard?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I mean, after I.
All right, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Your Honor.
Did you understand everything that was contained within the plea form? Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
And we've established that you're on probation,
I understand.
and so this could be an
Right.
additional violation of probation if you're pleading to this offense and admitting that you, or pleading in your best interest,
Yes, Your
okay?
Honor.
So you understand that they could also violate you for this offense?
I clearly understand, Your Honor.
Okay, and you understand if you're not a US citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
I understand that as well.
Okay, and you also understand that petty theft is an enhanceable offense, so if you accumulate more than two, it can be charged as a felony.
Yes, I understand that now.
Okay, all right, and do you find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file to accept your plea? I am going to withhold adjudication, sentence you to 7 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 7 days' time served. I am gonna order that you complete the impulse control class within 90 days of any release from any, jail or,
Okay.
okay? So I don't know where you'll be going, but you need to provide proof to the clerk of the court that you completed that within the 90 days, and you can show, I make sure you get proof of when you were released from, or from any incarceration, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're not to return back to the Beals at 8901 West Colonial Drive. And there is a cost of investigation to the Ocoee Police Department in the amount of $109.14. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by August 23rd, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, okay? I stayed the bonds at 3,500 and 500. All right, we're gonna do this one, and then I'm gonna have to step off. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Tobin?
All right, Mr. Tobin, you're here in 2019 CF 118188A0. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for burglary of a conveyance, possession of burglary tools, and petty theft. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to return back to 20445 Nettleton Street, Orlando, Florida. And you're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. And I will stay the bonds as set in the warrant at 5,000, 150, and 100.
Ma'am, can I talk to you really quick?
Be very careful, I don't talk about the facts of your case, okay?
How you say? I didn't, sorry.
When you start saying I didn't, I'm concerned that you're gonna talk about the facts of the case. So today is not the day. If you have a defense, today is not the day. You haven't been formally charged yet, you've only been arrested. All right, so, my guess is it should be around the same time as yesterday, so I'm gonna say like 10:15, okay? So we'll be back 10:15. are back on the record, and we're just gonna finish with session 1 and then move into session 2. Can I just have the parties announce themselves again for the record, please?
Kathy Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of State Attorney.
Letitia Fowler with the Office of Public Defender.
Lakeisha Halen, Office of Public Defender.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Trayvon.
Are you? is
Trayvon
your last name
Williams.
Okay. You're here in 2019 CF 6478AO, and you were arrested pursuant to a warrant for a violation of pretrial release. And the judge in that case did set your bond at none. And I believe you are represented by the Public Defender's Office, and they can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond for you. Okay, please tell me your name.
Christopher Wilson.
All right, and Mr. Wilson, I think we saw you earlier in the week, and this case is 2019 CF 11985AO. I think you had Ms. Kennedy Swanson had contacted the officer. This was the one where there was no probable cause for the sale and delivery, and then there were 2 cases, because the items had not been tested. I've received an updated affidavit for sale and delivery of cocaine and possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver with the clarification of probable cause. And the officer indicates that in the original report, he mistakenly left out the field testing information for the crack cocaine. I purchased from Mr. Wilson. He field tested it with an agency-issued cocaine test, which turned blue upon contact, indicating a presumptive positive test for the presence of cocaine. And then the field test for the crack cocaine located in the vehicle was also field tested by Deputy Calise. And so I don't know, I think the prior case number,
So Your Honor, I'm trying, the officer did an add-on charge?
it's the same case.
No, I understand, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to figure out what to do logistically with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out as
So what
well.
happened is, we would ROR as to the old case and the case number.
I ROR'd on those counts already, I believe.
I don't have that affidavit.
It's 19 CF 1189
1189?
and 1188.
Those are the old cases. Yeah.
What's the case from today?
19 CF 11985. So I had previously ROR'd him
Just
for those counts, correct? Yes, yes, on other charges, aggravated battery, fleeing and eluding. I have yet to have this issue come up.
It's happening. Sometimes instead of just saying it's a
Yeah.
supplemental, they'll just come
Right,
in and,
add a new case number.
correct,
Okay.
which we then want to consolidate.
So I'm sure you'll make a note of that in your system. But there is probable cause for these offenses. I am gonna did I appoint the public defender for him on those other cases? Mr. Wilson, did I appoint the PD for you?
I think so.
Okay, so I'm gonna appoint the public defender on this case for you as well. Now with the additional information, I do find the probable cause, for the offenses. And I'm gonna state the bonds at the 15,000 on count 1, 150 on count 2. Again, not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And so it's a different case number, but it's related to the other cases that you were here for the other day, in which I did not find probable cause for these offenses, okay? It's a little tricky, but, so that's how that's gonna work. I think the state attorney will notate that in their system so that they don't double charge you if they decide to file an information on the case, okay? All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Raymond Young.
Mr. Young, you're here in 2019 CF 11988AO. You're arrested for petty theft with 2 prior convictions. I do find probable cause You're not to, I'm gonna appoint the public defender. You're not to return back to the Walmart at 2500 South Kirkman Road or have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. I will stay the bond at the $1,000. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Benjamin Cintron.
All right, Mr. Centrone, you're here, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Osceola County, and the judge in that case has set your bond at none. And Osceola County has 24 hours to come and pick you up pursuant to the administrative order. If they do not, that does not include weekends and holidays. So if they do not come within that allotted time frame, you'll come back before the court here. And I will take no action on your out on release case today. Just make sure you show up to any court dates if there are any coming up, okay? Okay. All right, please tell me your name.
Malik Salim.
All right, Mr. Salim, you're here, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Osceola County. You do have a bond of $2,500. If you're able to bond out, you can bond out. If not, Osceola County has, pursuant to our administrative order, 24 hours to come and pick you up, not including weekends and holidays. Oh, okay, I only see, oh, so, okay. So it's listed as one, so it's 2,600. 25 plus 100, okay. So
And-
you have a $2,600 total bond,
And it's a 24-hour waiting period.
does not include weekends and holidays.
So does that count from the time that I was booked yesterday?
From today, right now.
From right now?
So, and Osceola's will pick you up. My guarantee is they're right next door in the same circuit, so they're gonna come and get you, but if you can bond out, you can bond out, okay?
Okay, now if I bond out, do I get the release from here or do I get released from Osceola?
You get released from here, but you're gonna have to show up to any court dates that you may have in Osceola. You don't wanna,
Gotcha.
miss any court dates, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right?
All right.
All right, please tell me your name.
Louis Cuero.
Mr. Coiro, you're here in 2019 CF 11901AO. You arrested for possession of methamphetamine and introducing contraband into a county facility. And I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. The bond will stay set at $1,000 and $150. You may not possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're also here in 2019 MM 5309AO, and you were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for an arraignment on July 11th, 2019, and that's for, you have a bond on each count at $500. Does he have the PD in that case? You do have the PD. I don't know if the state had an offer for you to resolve the case. Okay, so there is no offer from the state. You do have a bond in each count. And you're out on bond or out on release in 2019 CF 4504AO. Do we know, has that been filed on? It's an old, it's from April.
Your Honor, I don't think it's, I know one of the, I know that I'm here because when I got stopped, he found.
I will not talk about the facts of your case, Mr. Quitter. It's not gonna help you.
No, the April case is not being filed on.
Okay, I'm not gonna take action on the grand theft case that you're out on release on, but if you come back before a judge because you've been rearrested again and you have 3 cases that are pending, I can tell you right now, a judge is probably gonna revoke your release on all of those cases, okay? Regardless of whether things have been filed on or not. So you might wanna be very careful about who you're with and what you're doing, okay? right, please tell me your name, sir.
Samuel Ramirez.
All right, Mr. Ramirez, you're here in 2019 CF 11919AO. You're arrested for burglary of an occupied dwelling, grand theft third degree, and criminal mischief. I do find probable cause, and it appears as though you may not qualify for the public defender, so I need to confirm some information with you. Do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly?
Every other week.
Okay, so bi-weekly.
Yes,
And then, how much is your paycheck after taxes?
1,200.
And that's after taxes?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any children or any dependents that you claim that are under the age of 18?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, you're not gonna qualify for the public defender's office because of your income, so I cannot appoint them to represent you today, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I am going to order that you're not to return back to either one of these addresses, 4038 Scarlet Branch Road and 4007 Scarlet Branch Road. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or any witness. You are not to possess any weapons, any firearms, or any ammunition. I am staying the bond at 5,000 on count 1, 150 on count 2, and 100 on count 3. Do you think that you're gonna be able to bond out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because otherwise I would set you for a determination of council hearing in a week just to make sure. So you're pretty sure you're gonna be able to bond out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Joshua Alexis Coronado Torres.
All right, do we know what happened to Morgan Reese?
Refuse, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Reese was arrested in 2019 CF 11940AO for possession of synthetic cannabinoids. I do find probable cause, and I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent him in that case, and in 2019 MO 1478AO, and that's camping. There's probable cause for that as well. And the PD is appointed in both cases. Ms. Fowler, did you wanna waive his appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, he's not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. The bond will stay set at 1,500 on the felony and 250 on the misdemeanor.
Michael White, misbehavior.
All right, we'll reset Mr. White.
Yeah, you were requesting not reset anything, Your Honor. You can reset to 8/21.
Okay, well, I think it was a mental health issue yesterday.
Yeah.
Not refusal or behavior, so, it's misdemeanor, so if he shows up tomorrow, I don't know if he'll be able to resolve the case, but I'm gonna I'll give him one opportunity. And then Mr. Outing, we'll readdress Mr. Outing. That's 2019 CF 11858AO. And you said that was a refusal?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Outing is here. He was arrested for attempted burglary of a conveyance, trespass in an occupied structure, and loitering or prowling. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent him. Did you wanna formally waive his appearance, Ms. Fowler?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So he is not to return back to Touch of Glass Dry Cleaners at 4664 South Kirkman Road or have any contact with any listed victim or witness in that case. I'm gonna stay the bond at 1,000, 100, and 100. And in 2019 MM 6966AO, he was arrested for criminal mischief. I do find probable cause, and I did appoint the public defender, and his appearance has been waived. I'm gonna stay the bond at the 250, and he is not to go back to Target at 4750 Millennia Plaza Way or have any contact with any listed victim or witness, and he must abide by all trespass warnings. And I'm not gonna take any action on his out on release cases, in 2018 MM 8338 or 2019 MM 3373, due to some competency issues going on, okay? All right, and sorry for making you wait. Can you just tell me your name again?
Joshua Alexis Coronado Torres.
All right, Mr. Coronado Torres, it looks like we're here for a determination of counsel hearing, and you filed, or filled out a affidavit, and I do find that you qualify for the public defender, and I'm just signed an order appointing them to represent you, okay?
Can I speak real quick?
Just be careful about, don't
No, I'm
talk
not gonna
about
say
the
anything.
facts of the case.
No, I'm not gonna talk about my case. I see I've been here for 41 days on them charges, and I see they ain't filed. I wanted to know how would it be about to put in the 3038 motion?
They didn't file any, well, now you have an attorney.
hmm
You could have filed a motion pro se.
I did 2 days ago. I just found out I could have done it
Okay.
myself.
So, well, you have attorneys now, so
Okay.
I can't tell them how to litigate your case. There's nothing in the court file that you filed unless it's just not made its way into the court
Okay.
file. But, your attorneys are aware now how long you've been in
And-
jail, and so they can file any motions
Okay.
that need to get filed for you.
Also, Brent Lightfoot was my PD from my other case that got dismissed. Would there be any chance that he could be my PD?
There's hundreds of attorneys at the public
Alright.
defender's office, and it's just gonna depend on what division it's in and what public defender's assigned to that
Alright.
division, okay? Alright, do you wanna do the 33-day now and
State's
then,
ready.
sorry?
State is ready.
Okay. All right. 2019 CF 8276AO Jose Galarza Ruiz.
We deny the state filed information on 8/22.
All right, that will be denied. 2019 CF 10461AO Elijah Jean Croft.
We granted the state filed notice of non-filing for the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 2019 MM 6133AO David Alexander Graham. See, an info was filed.
That should be denied the state filed information on 8/22.
That will be denied. 2019 MM 6100 Cornelius Broadus.
Mr. Broder's case will be granted the state filed notice of non-filing for the 33rd day.
Alright, that will be granted. 2019 MM 6094AO Frankie Bajorquez.
We granted the state filed notice of non-filing for the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 10469 Stefan Estevez De Leon.
That should be granted the state filed notice of non-filing for the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 10443AO Christopher John Lozado.
That should be
Lozada?
granted the state filed notice of non-filing for the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 10423AO Tiffany Ann Enos.
We granted the state filed notice of non-filing for the 33rd day.
Okay. That will be granted, all right. everybody ready for session 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Frederick Buxton.
All right, Mr. Buxton, you're here in 2019 CF 12000AO. You're arrested for grand theft third degree. I do find probable cause, and you did not fill out a form for the public defender. Were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
Yes.
Okay, have you spoken with an attorney?
No.
Okay, so you also, they filed an on-view violation of probation, so based on the new law offense, so you're gonna be held no bond in that case. Do you want me to see until you hire an attorney if you qualify for the public defender, and that way you have representation while you're in jail, unless you plan on hiring somebody immediately?
I have a private attorney.
Okay,
I don't know.
who is that?
Rudy Ramjuan is my lawyer that I've been had.
Okay, so you're planning on calling him today?
Yeah. I should
Okay.
be in contact with him.
All right, so in the new law violation, I did find probable cause, and you're not to return back, or sorry, you're not to have any contact with any listed, witness in the case, okay? So anybody at UPS. And I'm gonna stay the bond at the $1,000, and in 2017 CF 10475AO, they filed an on-view violation of probation based on the new law offense, and there is probable cause for that. I am gonna stay the bond at the 0, and either way, you'll be seen by Judge Whitehead in a week to 10 days on that, and if you haven't hired Mr. Ramjuan or he hasn't filed a notice of appearance, then you can address that with him, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Jason Cintron.
All right, Mr. Cintron, you're here in 2019 CF 12004AO. You were arrested for driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions. And I do find probable cause, but I don't know if you're gonna qualify for the public defender. They're telling me that you won't, so let me just go over it with you real quickly. You get paid weekly and you get paid $1,000. Is that after taxes?
Yes.
Okay, and do you have any children under the age of 18?
No.
Okay. All right, you're not gonna qualify for the public defender based on your incomes. I cannot appoint them to represent you today. He does not qualify for pretrial release due to the, okay, because you have a holdout of Miami-Dade.
Grand theft, no bond.
Okay, all right. So I am gonna stay the bond at the 2,500 in this case. If you bond out, then Miami comes and gets him?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have to do.
I don't know what's going on in Miami, do we know, or is it a
This
VOP?
is grand theft, Your Honor.
Oh,
He has to
okay.
move for grand theft,
So-
it's no bond. So once he satisfies the orange, the new law, then they'll come in.
Otherwise, you would have to stay here if you didn't bond out and resolve this case first, and state would have to file on the felony. So if you're able to bond out, you may wanna do that, cause then you can head to Miami and take care of whatever's going on in Miami.
I can bond out of here and then how?
Miami would pick you up.
Okay.
That's how that would work.
And how long would that, do you know?
I don't think
How
that
long would it
it's,
take for them?
I don't think it's so they would have 72 hours, from the time that you bond out, not including weekends and holidays, and then if they don't come and get you within that time frame, then you would come back before myself or another judge, cause it's,
So I won't come out of here till Monday.
well, it's not including weekends and
Not including
holidays.
all weekends and holiday.
And it doesn't necessarily, our administrative order is different than the statute. Administrative order says 72 hours, but the statute says a reasonable amount of time, so it's gonna depend on the communication that they've had here with Miami, and if
And-
they're coming to get you or not, you know?
And they don't have a bond for me over there, right?
No.
No.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
John Hartsfield, line, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, please tell me your name.
Dungeon Dion Hooks, man.
All right, Mr. Hooks, you're here in 2019 CF 12005AO. You're arrested for possession of methamphetamine. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I am gonna set your bond at 2,500. I'm not gonna take any action on your out on release case. But you need to make sure that you keep in touch with your attorneys. If you get picked up again and you have 2 out on bonds and another new law, chances are a judge could revoke your bond on both cases. And I'm sorry?
I said I'm not out on any kind
You're out on release on a case.
on the R&R on the same kind of
It's a release.
All right.
It can be revoked.
Okay.
So if you get picked up again,
Mm-hmm.
a judge could revoke the release on all 2 of these cases, okay? All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Friend Stacy, man.
All right, you're here in 2019 CF 12003AO. You're arrested for 2 counts of possession of a counterfeit driver's license, and I do find probable cause
We did qualify this to Simi that has been updated.
for pretrial. Okay. All right, I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and I'm gonna place you in the pretrial release program. You need to make sure that you comply with all of those requirements. If you don't, and they tell me or another judge, your release can get revoked, okay? All right? All right, please tell me your name.
Toledo.
Mr. Toledo, you're here in 2019 CF 4447AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for a status hearing on July 16, 2019. The judge revoked your release and set your bond at none. You do have the public defender, and they can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond for you in that case. Looks like you do also have an Osceola County warrant hold.
Yes, it's a failure to appear for DUI, you just have a $2,000 bond.
Okay, so you do have a bond on the Osceola case, okay? All right, please tell me your name.
It is Vasquez.
Right, Mr. Vasquez, you're here in 2017 CF 2846AO, and you were arrested pursuant to a warrant for a violation of probation. The judge did set your bond at none in that case. You don't qualify for the public defender, but because you're being held at no bond and you're pretty close to the amount, I'm gonna appoint the PD to represent you, okay? You should be seen by Judge Whitehead in a week to 10 days, could be a little bit sooner. And so that'll be your next court date. I don't have a date for you, but it'll be within the next week or so, okay? All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Van Michael Brown.
All right, Mr. Brown, you're here in 19 CT 6222AO, and you were arrested for your driver's license being suspended for financial responsibility. And there's probable cause. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. In 2019 MM 6116AO, you were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for an arraignment on August 21st, 2019. Does he have the PD in that case? I'm gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you in that case. The judge did set your bond at 1,500. I don't know if the state hasn't, okay. So there's no offer for you in that case. You do have a bond. In that case, I've appointed the PD for you, so now you have an attorney. And then your bond will stay set at $250 on the new law violation. And, you know, you can't drive without a valid license.
Your Honor, what was the bond on the driving, driving? with
$250.
suspended license? $250.
All right, please tell me your name.
Quentin.
Is your last name
Beatty.
All right. Sir, you're here in 2019 MM 7020AO. You're arrested for providing false ID to law enforcement, soliciting without a permit, wearing a mask or hood in public, in violation of a county ordinance. I do find probable cause. Does the state have an offer? You didn't fill out a PD form.
He does not, Your Honor.
Okay. So, did you want to hire your own attorney, or?
Self.
Sorry?
Self.
You're gonna represent yourself?
Yes.
Okay, that's something that once, if the state decides to file charges on, you can discuss with the judge that would be assigned to your case, and he can determine whether or not you're competent to represent yourself. I am gonna stay the bond at 500, 100, 100, and 100. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Juan Luciano.
All right, Mr. Luciano, you're here in 2019 MM 7021AO. You're arrested for resisting an officer without violence, trespassing an occupied structure as a refusal to leave, and disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You may not go back to the Parliament House at 410 North Orange Blossom Trail.
Actually, I have
May
a
not have-
question. How?
Let me talk, and then if you have any questions, you can ask your attorney at the end, and if something needs to be clarified, I can answer that. You've been trespassed from there. You may not go back there. You must abide by all trespass warnings. You may not have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. I'm gonna stay the bonds at 500, 100, and 100.
Your,
Do we know what's going
Your
on?
Honor, there's an offer from the state on this one.
Okay.
The offer was adjudication withheld, credit for time served, and no return.
For 2 days.
And I would have to impose court costs.
Looks like it's arraignment
Information is
9-4.
filed, huh?
Arraignment 9-4.
Yeah.
Your Honor, my client's gonna take the plea.
Okay.
He's pleading no contest.
All right, Mr. Luciano, is this your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
Yes.
You are?
No.
Oh,
That's
you-
fine.
are you
Took the
sure?
same- No, yes,
Okay.
no.
right. Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Absolutely.
I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit to accept your plea to all 3 counts. I am gonna withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You can't go back to the Parliament House. That's the 410 North Orange Blossom Trail. You gotta abide by the trespass warnings. If you go back there, you're probably gonna get arrested again, okay? And I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by August 23rd, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, and all of those will run concurrent. I'm not gonna take any action on your out on release case. If you get arrested again, I can't promise that that won't happen, or some other judge wouldn't do that, or the state wouldn't file a motion to revoke your release. But you do have an arraignment date coming up on September 4th. So you need to make sure you don't miss that court date,
Okay.
okay?
All right. Thank you.
November, huh? All right, please tell me your name.
Marvin Nelson.
All right. You're here in 2019 MM 7022AO. You're arrested for resisting an officer without violence, disorderly intoxication, and trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender. Was there an offer for Ms. Nelson?
I haven't made one, Your Honor, but after reading the facts, I'll do an adjudication. 3 days. Credit for one. No return.
It's credit for 1, 3 days, no return. And I would have to impose court costs, Ms. Nelson.
Your Honor, in this case, her belongings is at the address. Is there any way
I
that,
would give her a one-time
One-
opportunity to go back with law enforcement. She would have to call law enforcement before she went back there to get any personal belongings, okay?
Could I say something, ma'am? Because he rented me a room, and it was for like 2.5 weeks, and then I didn't do what he asked me to do, which is sexual harassment. He lied on me, and that's why I'm here. He called the
Well, if you
cops.
have a defense, today is not the day to present any defenses. The state would have to file formal charges and an information, and then you would get the opportunity to either have a trial or to present defenses and mitigation to the prosecutor, and they could decide whether or not they would proceed forward, or you would have a jury decide. So you could plead today, you could plead to the charges today, you would not have to come back to court for them ever again. And you would be adjudicated guilty, sentenced to 3 days with credit for 1 day, and you can't go back to that, Lake Tyler condominiums, but I would let you go back with law enforcement.
Okay, I'll go back with law enforcement to get my stuff.
Honor, she's going to take the plea, no contest.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Nelson, I'm showing you this plea form. Pam, is this your signature at the bottom? You
Yeah.
gotta speak up, okay. Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did you understand everything that was contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yeah.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea for all 3 counts. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served. Those will run concurrent with each other. You cannot go back to the 1424 Holden Avenue, the Lake Tyler condominiums. I will allow you to go back there with law enforcement to get personal belongings. Listen to me carefully, because you're gonna need to make sure that you contact law enforcement ahead of time. You show them the order from the court that says that you can go back there to get your belongings. You must go with them. You cannot go by yourself, because you've been trespassed from there. So if you go back by yourself, you'll probably get arrested again.
I understand.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by August 23rd, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. All right?
Yes,
Luck to
ma'am.
you. And Mr. Lewis? Jafet, this was the John Doe from Jafet Lewis? Okay, so we have 2019 MM 572AA. We've identified him as Jafet Lewis. He's refused to come to court. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent him. And Ms. Haling, did you want to waive his appearance for purposes of the record?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so, and he was charged with resisting an officer without violence and trespass on an occupied structure or conveyance. I do find probable cause, and he is not to return back to the, Lynx bus. Any guesses is that they may have trespassed him, but he refused to get off a Lynx bus, so he can't go back to the Lynx bus stations. And he's not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness. The bond will stay set at 500 and 100.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else? No? All right, everybody have a good weekend. They'll be in recess until Monday, well, they'll be in recess until tomorrow.